yesterday's daf.
Is that how it works? I put every turn the new page and that's it.
I didn't hear that. Anyways, we saw shitas of the machlokes between Rav Nechemia and Rav Chisda as to where the machlokes Rav Meir and Rav Yehuda was. Rav Meir said an ani, and Rav Yehuda said ani for asher. So there were two clauses in the Mishnah. One, the first clause by the tree, and the second one is imim komi. So Rav Yehuda said that where is the ani? Where is the ani? Machlokes is in the second case, imim komi, that there the ani dafka the ani, but not the balabayas. That's what we said in imim komi. That's he would agree. Rabbi Yehuda says that the Tanakam would agree. Rabbi Yehuda would be in agreement that imim komi. He has to put pas, and it wouldn't be enough just to go ahead and be there. Okay, so now we just finish up the Gemara at the bottom of the page. Rabbi Rav Chana Habi Rogel, the Asi Me'ativno LaPumpadisa. Rabbi Rav Chana, he was accustomed to go from the town of Ativma to Pumpadisa, and Amma he would say Shvisasi Bitsinasa. He would say my shvisa should be in Sinasa. Hopefully with what? With the Amira being enough, not bringing like. So Amle Abaya, my daitcha, what's your das? Rabbi Yehuda, Allah Rabbi Yehuda. The Amr of Chisda, Machlokes b'makam plini, right? Rabbi Chisda says the Machlokes is makam plini, and therefore Rabbi Chisda would allow you just to say Amira. But Rav Nachman, we have Rav Nachman, B'tanya Kavasei, we have Rav Nachman, and the halacha is like Rav Nachman, that again, if the din of saying to the tree was only said for the ani. When did the Rabbi Yehuda say that a person can be makabel shvisa with his physical guf? Is only with it's only the bimkomi, but when it comes to the tree, only the ani can do it. And obviously, if you didn't leave yet your house, you're not an ani. So he's telling him, how could you go ahead and do this? Allah is like, since we have a brisa that corroborates Rav Nachman, machlokes of Chisda Rav Nachman based upon the brisa proving Rav Nachman. Therefore, when he goes ahead, he had a place that he recognized from the between Artivna and Pumpadisa. So he had, let's say that was 4,000 miles. So at the 2,000 mile mark, 2,000 Amos marker, he had something he recognized, and he said verbally, "You go ahead, and I want my shvisa to be there," thinking that Allah is like a Chisda. But now he's telling him, Abai is telling him, 1 second. In fact, Allah is like what? Like Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman only permitted the ani to the usher when he's mimkomi in the second case. In the first case, only an ani had the ability. An usher would have to send his food there. So therefore, you're doing the wrong thing. So Amalei, so Rabbi Rav Chana said, Hatribi, I have charata and enachinami. I won't do it anymore. I won't verbalize an Erev in a landmark that I'm familiar with, because the halachas of Nachman that is only stated by an ani and not by an usher. Therefore, I don't have that option. Rami Bar Chama Hari Amru Shavas Yesh Dal Ramas. We know if a person says he's kind of shvisa, he has Dal Ramas. He has Dal Ramas. Besides the 2,000, he has Dal Ramas. Hanoisne said Rupa Yesh Dal Ramas or Ein Lai. Someone who goes ahead and does not use his legs, his physical being, but he puts food over there. Does he get Dal Ramas with that Erev or not? Amar Rav Tashma Amru Ma'arvin V'Pas Elo Lahakal Ala Asher. We only said the reason that you Ma'arv Pas is to make it easy on the Asher, that it wouldn't be required to go and do this with his legs. So what could he do? He could send a shliach, go ahead, take the food and go there. You go take the food. So now, if you're going to tell me that if he uses food as an Erev, he doesn't have Dal Ramis, guys, look at me. If he uses physical being himself, he would have Dal Ramis. If he uses the food, he doesn't have Dal Ramis. You just told me that the whole reason for the food is a cooler to make it easier on him, right? But that comes out of Chumrah. He loses his Dal Ramis. The only reason we said to be Mako is to be Mako on him. The food is a kula. In this case, the food is going to be a chumrah because it's malus dalet amis. If you can tell me he doesn't have dalet amis, it's not labim mekel, it's being machmir. Says the Gemara, feel hachi nichalei ki hechid nitrach v'nefak. No. Could be he loses the 4 amis. It's still a kula for him that he doesn't have to schlep. 4 amis is 4 amis. I'll give up 8 feet in a heartbeat, 6 feet, 8 feet in a heartbeat. I don't have to go ahead and schlep, send the food over there. Yes,
what's the difference if you make an error? What's the difference how you made it? You made it with your
we
feet.
said yesterday the ikka error is with your feet. So in other words,
well, nice, you make an error. So what's the
so it's saying that we said the Chachamim gave dalet amis is only the ikka erev, but the second way, which is not the main way, maybe not. Well, who did like you understand it? Since it's an erev, you get dalet amis.
You said the difference
It's not the ikka way. The ikka way is physically you should be there. I always understood the ikka way. I'm being kind of shvisa. I'm saying this is my house. Your house, it's your house. So what's the chiddush that you send food if it becomes your house? You hear the chiddush, right? Now, to what extent does that food do it? Does it do it all the way or not? And that's the shaila. So you wanted to say it must be it does it all the way, or else you're not being mekel, you're being machmir. Says the Gemara, long as I'm machmir, I don't care. As long as I don't have to schlep, I'm okay with it. To send the food? Sure, you could use a monkey to send the food. We said, but only if you have a person at the other end to receive it. In other words, you have to be kind of with das. It's not a ma'aser kaif ba'alma. If you're sending him to make it, the guy can't do it.
Send it like that tree.
Hesh, any Yehudi, any Yehudi. Who's making the Erev? You making the Erev?
He's going to put food at the place.
Yeah, you said avdoi. We said well. Now I'm not sure if a guy could do it because it said avdoi. It could be a kuti. Since they're not moed in Erev, it can't be not. We said a kuti earlier in the Masechta, maybe not. So I'm not sure. But it could be a little different. You know, it could be since he's saying that this is where he wants it to be, and you're sending the food along. So I hear what you're saying. So since it's not the food, it's him. It's his amira. So why, if he's saying it's me, he doesn't have to send the food, Hesh. If it's he doesn't need it. Hesh. If he says, I want my shvisa to be underneath that tree, he doesn't have to send anything. You're mixing up two things. If he says, I want it underneath the tree, he doesn't need anything. Now, but you send the guy, you can't send the guy because he has to be kind of shvisa for you. Okay, says the Gemara, the Mishnah. We're up to the Mishnah on Nun Beis Amud Aleph. Misha Yotza Leilech Be'ir Shem Arv. We had this in the Gemara yesterday. He's leaving his house, and he's going. We're going to see he has a house along the way. He has 2 houses. He's got, let's say, he's walking along, and he has a house in Boca, and the face. I don't know. Why am I being in Florida? I was there once. Well, let me get to. He has a house in Budapest, right? Buda and Pest, right? There's a Buda and there's a Pest, right? The old country. So now he says, I'm gonna make my Erev in Buda to get the Pest. Good. So Misha Yatza Leilach Be'er Shem Arvin Ba, and now he V'chsir Chaveroi, and now his friend stops him. Now, as we're going to see, the whole town wanted to leave there to go to Buda. They all want to go to Buda, but no one left their house. But he did. And his friend said, no, don't leave, come back. Don't leave, come back. Who mutter leilech? V'chol b'nei yer asurim. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. He's mutter to go, the rest of the people not. The Gemara will ask why. We're going to say because he's an ani. An ani Amir would help. Mashenkin and the other people not. But may oimer kol shu yachal arev le'iriv. Whole town. But may oimer kol shu yachal arev le'iriv harizeh chama gamol. The infamous chama gamol. Let's see Rashi over here. Misha Yatza says Rashi me'iroi leilech be'ir acheres. He's leaving his city to go to another city. Shem arvim ba, that he made an erev in that city. Shesmucha le'iroi betoich dal alofim. So that's next to his house within 4,000 amas. So he made an erev at the 2,000 mark, and now he's going to go another 2,000 beyond that. So, and he begins going out, and his friend stops him. Says Rashi, "Hu muta leilech Even though he didn't say anything. Physically, just getting up to go would be enough. The Kivin Sheyesh L'Sham bias, since we know he has a house there in Buddha, Vadi wasn't a gedas from going there. And he wanted to go ahead and get at 2,000. It's like an ani who said, since he started out, it's like an ani who said, I want my shvisa to be over there. And he be kana in that case. But ani who, because he's an ani, the hichzik b'derech, because he started out. That would explain the shita of Rabbi Yehuda, right? If a guy is an ani, guys, who's able to say, I want my shvisa under the tree? Who's able to say that? I want my shvisa to be under the tree. An ani. That's what Nachman's did. As soon as he started out, remember, ani's relative. It doesn't mean what you have in the bank. It means I don't have bread with me now, right? So therefore, since he started out, he's called an ani, and therefore, Masha Enkin, everyone who stayed in the houses are not aniyim. And therefore, they don't have the ability to verbalize it and say, I want underneath the tree.
Are they allowed to leave their house at all?
Well, they have 2,000 amas in every direction.
Within that city, because that's their shvisa.
Their
shvisa is where they are. It never
they
changes.
never were kind of that shvisa. They never were kind of that shvisa.
Where they are is where their shvisa is.
Correct.
It never changed.
So where they are is their shvisa. Now, the Ama Havikoni, if he would have said something, he would have gotten it. Aval hashta the yachal hayala are v'loy mishvisasi makamploni v'loy he didn't say anything. Again, he started out, but he didn't say anything. Mesafgalon, he's mesupik. He have a daitay liknoi shvisa b'say batchum by bebeisay. He's a chamagamel. Now he's a chamagamel. He's stuck in between. Shein le'ela alpayim shebein beisay l'say batchum. He only has alpayim between his house and the end of the chum. Aval alpayim shema eva beisay on the other side, the side sheni, if city loses it. So it seems that Reb Meir required him to say something. Since he didn't say something, he's mesupik. And Reb Yehuda says, no, since he started out, it would be enough. Okay, says the Gemara. What's the difference between him and what's the difference between them? Why is he kaina and them not? He has two houses. And between these two houses, between Buddha and Pest, he's got 4,000 amas. Since he began going on the way, he's an ani. And an ani has the capacity what? To go ahead and say, I want my shvisa to be under the tree. I want my seat to be in that house. But those people who never left, ashiri ninu. They're not aniyim. Why do we say this heta of what? Of being kind of a makam ploni, first clause of yesterday's chart is only aniyim. They're not aniyim, so they can't say to be kind of that spot. He's different than them. He's an ani because he started out. They're not aniyim. That's the difference. Tanya namihachi mishiyesh le'shtei batim u'beinayim shtei tchumei Shabbos. Someone who has two houses and between them two tchumei Shabbos. Him shehichzik b'derech. Since he began going on the way, kana eruv. He's kind of eruv divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Yesral came on Rabbi Yosef Yehuda. Guys, halk up. Rabbi Yosef Yehuda says even a bigger chiddush. Rabbi Yosef Yehuda says even a bigger chiddush. Afilu matzu chaveroi. Even his friend stops him and says, "Lin poi, stay here. Eis chamahu. It's cold. It's hot. Eis tzinahu. It's cold. Lemachar the next day, mashkim can get up v'hoylech." So apparently, Rabbi Yosef Yehuda is saying, even if he wasn't machzik on the way, even if he didn't begin going on the way, he'd still be kind of the area, which is a huge chiddush, right? That's a bigger chiddush. Like Rabbi Yehuda, he began going, so he was an ani. Over here, he Rabbi Yosef Yehuda is saying that what? Even if what he was told by his friend to stop, he's kind of the area. So we see Rabbi Yossi by Yehuda is more makel than Rabbi Yehuda. We're going to have machloikis between Rabbi and Rabbi Yosef as to what the machloikis between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yossi by Yehuda was. Okay? So I think I have a chart here. I know I have a chart here. The question is whether I can find it. How's that, guys? Is that good? Boom. You got it? Can
Yeah.
you see it?
Yeah.
You see it. Steve,
Yeah.
put it on the Zoom. On the WhatsApp.
You want to
It's on the
lift it up a
WhatsApp.
little bit, or is that what you want to show?
Can I make it bigger? I want to make it smaller.
Right.
I don't think I can make it bigger.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. No, I got to make it smaller still. Okay, that's good enough. It works, right? Okay, guys, look. That stands for nun base. Now, in the top line, say you got it. Shim, you here?
Yeah.
You have it?
We got it. Oh, yeah. Well, no,
Heshi has waiting for this meeting. What? Okay. You have it already? So you have it? The WhatsApp? Okay, so here. Let's say he says my Erev, right? He says my Erev. He verbalizes it. Says Rabba, Kuli Alma, Sai Reb Yehuda, Sai Reb Yosef Reb Yehuda, they would all hold it's a good Erev. You have to say it. Right? However, let's say he starts on the way. Reb Yehuda says it's not enough to go ahead and start on the way. You still have to say something. Even Labrias, even if you start on the way, you have to say something. Whereas Reb Yosef Reb Yehuda says just saying is enough. That's why, again, Reb Yosef Reb Yehuda is a big chiddush. He's saying just the act of saying, even right in start on my way, would be enough of an Erev. So we have a machloikis. Reb Yehuda says you have to not only say, you have to walk. And according to Reb Yosef Reb Yehuda, no, it's enough just to say. That's the way Rabbi learns Pshat. Reb Yosef, he learns Pshat differently. He says, vis-a-vis saying, Reb Yehuda says you have to say. Reb Yosef Yehuda is Mamekel, you don't even have to say. You don't have to say anything. You designate the spot, you don't have to say anything. However, if starting on the way, everyone says that you have to, so how would you be koina? Everyone says you have to walk. Kuli alma, lahachzik, everyone would say you'd have to walk on the way. So I'm going to say the Gemara, I'm leaving the chart out here, I'm leaving it up, and let's learn Gemara with the chart in front of you. Very little. Now, Amar Rabba. Okay, Amar Rabba. Loimar, to say that what I want my Erev underneath that tree, by that house, Kuli Amalei Pligi did Sarech. Everyone says you have to. You see it on the chart? Kuli Amal says you have to. That's Rabba. Good? Vis-a-vis saying, everyone says you have to say. Ki Pligi, where's the Machloikas Reb Yehuda and Reb Yossi? Reb Yehuda, where Reb Yossi is Momekel. Yes, Rav Kain. He's Momekel. Ki Pligi, lahachzik, to start out. Says Reb Yehuda, right? Says Reb Yehuda, you have to, what does that mean? You have to start out and you have to say. And Reb Yossi, Reb Yehuda says, no, you just to say would be enough. It makes no sense. Starting on the way lahachzik, it makes no sense. You know, I'm looking at this, it makes no sense.
When you didn't start, when you did start.
I think he says that okay, no, that seems to be what they're saying. In other words, according to Rabbi Yehuda, you have to start on the way and say if you hold the hachzik. And Rabbi Yosef says no, saying's enough. Rabbi Yosef, he disagrees. He says to say that's the machloikus, whether you have to say or not. But Kuliyam would say lahachzik, you have to start out. So it says inside back in the Gemara. Amar Rabba, Loimar, to say that I wanted to be there, Kuli Amle Pligi Tzarach, keep Pligi L'Hachzik. Whether you have to start also. Rabbi Yehuda says you have to start also, and Rabbi Yehuda says saying's enough. In other words, it's an extension, guys. Everyone says you have to open your mouth. According to Rabbi, everyone says you have to open the mouth. The question is there an addition to opening your mouth? You have to start walking also. Says Rabbi Yehuda, you got to start walking also. Says Rabbi Yossi, no, just talking was enough. Good. But they both agree you have to talk. Now, Rabbi Yosef Amar, no. Everyone says you have to walk. Even Rabbi Yossi or Yehuda would say you have to walk. Ki pligi, where's the machlokes? Laimar, whether you have to talk or not. So now, guys, look at the chart now, guys. Good, right? Rabbi Yosef, Kuli Alma on the way, lahachsik. Everyone knows what? You have to. That's the Rabbi Yosef in the second column. Everyone knows you have to be machsik. First column, when's the machlokes? Whether we have to say as well. Says Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yehuda says you have to say. Says Rabbi Yosef, if I start walking, I don't have to say anything. Good? So those are the two sheetas. Okay, I'm going to keep the chart up here. Says Kiman az lahada ma'ula. That ul is din. Ula said the following din. Kiman az lahada ma'ula. Mi shehichzik b'derech. Someone starts out on the way. V'hichsiroi chaveiroi, and his friend brings him back. Harihu muchser muchsik. He's returning, and he's muchsik that he's got an erev, which seems to be a stirim in a ubay. It seems to be your slicer, father, right? If he's a returnee, then why does he get his erev? And if he gets his erev, lama muchsa. What do you mean he's a returnee? Says Mahachi Kama. Here's the way you read it. Afal pi shemuchsar. Even though he returns, nonetheless, even though he went back, nonetheless, muchsik, he has his erev. Kim now. Now, what does this mean? He started out and he went back. Mashma, he has to go out, correct? Kiman, ki Rabbi Yosef, aliba de Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda. It's what? It's like Rabbi Yosef according to Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda. Look what does Rabbi Yosef hold? Guys, did he say anything over here? According to Ula, did he say anything? It just says Muchsa, he returned. Muchsik, and he gets the place. Mashma, how does he get it? Just by his act of walking, even though he didn't verbalize anything. Look at the chart, guys. Correct, but he was muchsik, meaning he started out. So what got him? What got him his chazaka, guys? What got him the erev? And not what? And not talking. So who's the only one who says that you can get it by without talking? Guys, look. Rabbi Yosef, according to Rabbi Yehuda, no say. Bottom box, right? According to everyone, look, every other box, you got to say something, guys, right? Good. Over here, so it's according to Rabbi Yehuda. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yehuda bar Ishisa, Rabbi Yehuda, the son of Ishisa, that's the name. Isolate Kikola de Peri, he brought a basket of Paris, Rav Nosson bar Roshia. Kiavi Azol, when he wanted to go out, he started to walk, and Shavka Adenachas Darga, he waited till he left a step. He waited till he left one step, and Amalei Pishacha, stay here. So Rav Nosson told him to stay here. So why do you wait for him to take a step? Obviously, he must hold what? That saying is not enough. It must be what? You have to be muchzik. You have to start out. So he said to him, Bisacha, not Bisacha, Bisacha, stay here. L'machar kadam, the next day he got up and went. Now, did he say anything over here? No. So apparently it's the same thing, that it's according to Rabbi Yosef. Kiman v'azol, Kiman, guys, Rabbi Yosef aliba Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, who says it's enough to be machzik without saying anything. Says Merlai, maybe it's Kirabba v'aliba Rabbi Yehuda. Guys, take a look. Rabba, according to Rabbi Yehuda, maybe he said something and he started out on the way. It doesn't say that he didn't say anything. He could have said something. In other words, you're not locked into saying that. But the chart's good. The chart told us everything. I don't need the chart anymore. Guys, good? Chaim, you good? That's a clap. Okay. Moshe, do I get the Moshe, I need it. Okay.
He's a Niyam or getting away with murder.
Who? What do you mean?
I don't know. They don't have to say. They just have to walk. They think. They can. Anything is okay.
What? Okay. Reb Meir Omer Kol Sheyachal Arev. Reb Meir says anyone who's able to make an erev. The Mishnah said Kol Shehu Yachal Arev V'Lo Erev Harizeh Chama Gomel. In other words, he didn't say anything. He could have put it there. He didn't say anything. It's Chama Gomel. It's caught in between. Fred Gemara Hatanina Chadazimna. We already said it once before on Daf Lamed Hey, guys. All the way back on Daf Lamed Hey. If his erev rolls out of the chutzner, it gets burnt up. And you don't know at which point in time it happened, whether it was there ben hashmashas or he wasn't there ben hashmashas. So it's a suffix whether it was there or not. We said harizeh chama gomel. He's stuck, right? He doesn't know. He's stuck between that no man's land. So therefore, the Gemara says, why did he have to repeat it? L'char, we said it once already. Hatininu chadazimna. Suffix Remei Rabbi Yehuda Aimim harizeh chama gomel. And for the Gemara, Rav Sheshes says, like time at time that may a suffix here, a suffix layiriv. Who the havi chama gomel? Don't think only because Daf Lamed Hey, where it's a suffix, that it's a chama gomel. Aval vadei lo yiriv loy havi chama gomel. Alafilu vadei lo yiriv, even when it didn't make a neiv over here, havi chama gomel. The hacha vadei lo yiriv, vadei he didn't make an erev. The havi chama gomel, and still, since he could have made an erev, he didn't make an erev. He's still a chama gomel. So the other case before, had we just say the first case, you'd say he only says it in the case of suffix. Over here, where we know he did make an erev, and he could have made the erev, he's still a chama gomel, even though there's no suffix. That's the chiddush according to the Gemara. Says the Mishnah, Mishi yatsa chutz tchum. You go outside the tchum on purpose. You wander out on purpose outside the tchum. Afilu ama achas, even one ama lo yikones. Even though that one ama overlaps the 4 amas that you're entitled to, right? Nonetheless lo yikones. Because we went out on purpose. You get 2 amas, yikones. Because Shnayim and is remember, guys. Guys, what does Rabbi Eliezer hold? You're in the middle. You're 4 and you're in the middle. So if you're out 2, it overlaps what? Overlaps the tchum. If you're out 3, it doesn't overlap the tchum because it's only 2 on each side. So if you're out 3, you're not overlapping the tchum at all. Therefore, outside of 3, you're finished. Amram Chanina, Raglei Achas b'teichat tchum. Kenny, this is your Gemara. It's like the college Gemara. 1 foot in is in bounds, right? You don't need both feet in bounds. Okay, for people in football, follow football, understand what I'm talking about. Chaim, I'm sorry. You're not missing anything, trust me. Your uncle can't even come to, he's embarrassed. He can't even come to share if his team showed up. I haven't seen him since. He's been quiet. He's not talking. So Rav Chanina, Raglei achas b'toichat chum, Raglei achas chutzat chum. You got 1 in and 1 out. Lo yikones. You considered out of bounds. Can't come in. Out of bounds. Dichsiv im tosif mishabes raglecha. Now, raglecha means your feet, but it's written raglach. Raglach is mashma, foot. Therefore, you are out of bounds. Ksiv. Ivatanya raglei achas b'toichat chum, Raglei achas chutzat chum. Yikones. We have a brisa saying the opposite. You could go in bounds. Hamani acherim he. That's acherim. Acherim is tam acherim is Reb Meir. The Tanya acherim moimrim l'mokim sherubayhu niskar. Where most of his body is, he'll be thrown. So if he has 1 foot out of bounds, since most of his body is in bounds, he's considered inside the tchum. Ikadi amiram b'chanina raglei achas b'toichat tchum. If you have 1 regel inside, raglei achas chutzat tchum, yikones like the second brisa. The chsiv. Im toshiv mishabes raglacha karinon. Even though it's read without the yud as raglach, it's written raglach, but no, it's pronounced raglecha, which means feet. Karinon. I have a tanya lo yikones. We have a brisa, so we asked him the question in the opposite direction. He said, if 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you're out. He says, who don't make acherim? He, the one that says you can enter, holds like the acherim. The tanya l'machem shrubai hu niskar. The place where the majority of your body is, that's where you are thrown. 3, 2, yes, 3 not. Again, guys, just to reiterate, you really have, here's your tchum. Rabbi Eliezer holds, now there's 4 amas to the tchum. Rabbi Eliezer holds, you're in the middle over here, and you get 2 over here and 2 over here. So since I'm in the middle, I get 2, I'm still shaykhus to here. Once I get 3, I'm not shaykhus to here because the 4 amis, I'm not really 4 amis, it's only 2 on the side. Okay? Says the Gemara Vaita. So he said 2 not, different than our Mishnah. Says, well, like Hasha. One, he was Akka 1 and he's sitting on 2, therefore he can go back in. The Akatarti become Atlas. 1, he was Oika from 2 and he's standing by 3. So when it says Shtayim lo yikones, it means he was at the 2 and he moved 1 away, now he's at 3. Mashma even 1 he can't, and certainly 1 he's within the tchum of 4. But Kitanya Hilamoidade. When it says that, it's the Inyan going ahead and being moided, the Inyan going ahead and measuring. The Inyan measuring it. Says Gemara. Says Rashi, 5 lines down where it gets wide. Shechoshkoloi. He was measuring and he got lost. He went ahead and he counted 2,000 little steps. He ended up 1 out. Even the 2,000, even if the 2,000 would bring him in, he won't be mutakid none. And the one that measures, we say to him, he doesn't get the whole thing. Why? In other words, guys, usually when you get your 2,000 amas and you end up in a city, you would get the whole city. You ended up in a corral, you get the corral. Over here, he says you end up, if you're measuring, you're a surveyor, you end up within 1 of the city, you're not getting the whole city. So that's what he says, lo yikones. Why is that? The kivin shem wada al payim levad makam shvisa so shein arba, since he counted 2,000, aside from the 4, eini yachal laver chutz la payim. He's not able to be over chutz la payim. In other words, he counted the 2,000 aside from his 4, and therefore he's ending you're ending in a place that is outside. We don't let you go more than that when you're measuring. You're stuck over there. And the Gemara said, "Nan." We're going to see this later on, guys. I feel a slave midasa kilo mamora. Lamode that we say we give him 2,000 amas is only 2,000 amas. Even if he ends up in a cave, we don't give him the whole cave. We'll see that Bez Hashem. Says the last mission in the parak. Misha hichshech chutz tchum. Someone goes ahead and it gets dark. It chutz tchum. Afilu ama achas leikones. Even 1 ama, that's it. Even 15, he could go in. A big she'ein hameshuchos mimatzines hamidas mifnei atoyin. They're not so exact. As we're going to see, they used to measure using plumb lines, guys. They were measuring using strings. They didn't have laser. The laser surveyors. You see this guy. The guys come with the laser beams. They can measure everything exact. No, so therefore they're always off a little bit. So since they're off a little bit, it's even within 15 amas they're off. Right? Says the Gemara, Toyim if they Toya Hamida. Learn if they Toya Hamida the mistakes they make in Hamida of the measurements. Okay, so the guys who have Art Scroll, I think you have Art Scroll 2. So we are making Siyum tonight on Art Scroll 1.
Where's the Rami? Where are we eating?
Yeah, Rami, yeah. Have a good night, fellas.